Hello, everybody. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for coming. We have today a very esteemed guest, which is Rebecca Barret, who
Hello.
used to be trending around 2 months ago in the Arab world. I guess everybody heard about Rebecca Barret in the Arab world from the translated videos. Yeah, you've been trending. Welcome
I,
to my channel.
I, it was funny when I started getting, uh, you know, the Arab influence. I was like, what is happening? Where are my videos getting promoted at? But I love it. I'll take it.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, that was interesting for a lot of people because usually our audience, the Arabic speaking audience, they think almost all of the Western female are like feminist type, or believe in feminist agenda and they support it to the death. And so to see like an American woman say, no, feminism is full of bullshit and I left it and I'm happy as a housewife. That was like, whoa, wait a minute. Is she's American? Really? So
Yeah, it's trust me, they hate me too. The men, the women, the feminists really don't like me whatsoever. And that's okay. My life still moves on. I'm still super happy living my life and I have my family and their thoughts and opinions don't define my life. So,
yeah, and you
it's
got a
bad
baby.
for them.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
Congratulations. Yeah.
That's why I've been quiet too. People forget like I went off of YouTube for a little bit. And, I wanted to embrace being a mother. I wanted to be with my daughter in the first days of her life, the first months of her life. And it was actually, I will say it was very difficult for me to come back to YouTube and actually start making videos again.
Hmm.
I really wanted to just not do that whatsoever. And that's my reality.
Well, congratulations. What did you name that little angel?
Her name is River Rain. River Rain Barrett is her name.
River Rain Barrett.
Yeah.
Okay, congratulations. I like
Thank you.
hope her life will be full of peace and love.
Thank you.
You're most welcome, dear. You're most welcome. Okay, let's start with you trending in the Arab world. I wanna show a video that very famous and prestigious magazine translated, and they did a report on you. Like, and they say that like the mainstream media got nuts after what you says. So let's see that video. It's a small video.
Sure.
Okay.
Wife is submissive to her husband. My husband leads in my relationship. Does that mean that I am a doormat? Does that mean that I'm a slave to him? Does that mean that I do everything that he says? Absolutely not. Because of modern feminism, men have actually decided to leave women alone. And what's happening is that men and women are dying alone. When we are supposed to come together, we rely on each other.
That was
Wow.
interesting.
Wow, that was so inspirational. I don't know what any of the captions said, but it was very inspirational.
Yeah, yeah, it is. They was writing in Arabic some information about you, some quotes that you said, and make everyone crazy. They talk about your interview with the Sun.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, so and they say the main cause of you going with radical feminist was trauma in your childhood, like which is a
it was
betrayal
infidelity.
yeah, a betrayal in your family. And when you met your husband, you start to go to counseling, and you changed like your mind about a lot of things, and you feel happier now. And that was like very positive one. Yeah.
That's great. I'm so happy that the message is getting across. That is what I do YouTube for, you know? So trying to spread the positive message, even though there's a lot of hate that's surrounded it. I'm just trying to do I'm just trying to do what I'm supposed to do here.
Yeah, do you see Miles here? What she's saying? To
Yeah.
see Rebecca with the long hair was super weird for a moment, because
Yeah.
I saw like you used to shave your hair, and I saw like some green, like weird colors, like feminist, right?
Yeah. Mhm. I've done all the colors, blue, green, purple, pink, you name it, my hair has been that color.
So you check every single box in my red flag video for the guys.
I'm sure.
Yeah, because I teach like young men in general. Like if you see pink, green, like phosphor colors, these things, and like short hair, no, 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 just
I
leave her
agree.
alone. Yeah.
Stay far, far away from those women.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about your background. You used to be I watched your episode on Sosnick with Adam Sosnick.
Mhm.
So he asked you like, do you used to be like a real radical feminist, like with a vagina hat and like colored hair and shouting in the streets? And he said yes. Like I didn't know that. Really, is that like your life?
Yeah. Yes, especially in New York. So I lived in New York for 3 years. I left right before, the panorama. I'm not going to say that. um, and yeah, I used to go to the marches. I used to participate in all the girl boss things,
Mm.
and that was that was a lot of my life, and a lot of the people that I surrounded myself with were bitter women who just were blaming men for everything that they could
Or
possibly
existing,
think of.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Because I got that impression from because I do coach people personally and counsel people personally and in a group coaching. And when somebody from the West book me for, because I do it in both language, in Arabic and in
Mhm.
English. Yeah, I have two certificates from Oxford University about counseling and life coaching.
Wow.
So, and I'm doing it since long time. So when people usually, especially men, book me from the West for counseling, like I feel they have that feeling inside them that they are sorry for being men. Am I right?
Mm, mhm. Yeah, and that's honestly because of feminism. It's so deeply indoctrinated in our media, in our culture. From the time that we are little girls and little boys, like that is what we see on the television. You
Mm.
see, even the cartoons and the sitcom shows. The man is always this dopey, like he doesn't know what to do without his wife. He has no control over himself. The wife always is correct. She's always, the one that leads the household. So when you grow up in that culture, and for me, I'm 33. So I grew up in the millennial, like right before the internet and literally, as we're changing, as the internet and like television is just getting more and more mainstream, and
mm,
our parents would sit us in front of the TV and says, "Okay, like go sit there, watch TV and like take care of yourselves," basically. And so, when you're consuming all of that for a majority of your life, it's very difficult to kind of get away from that mentality. And I think a lot of men, unfortunately, find themselves there. And to step up and speak out against feminism, women will go ballistic. And so that's why women like me and other female content creators do what we do, because if we don't speak to women, and just going to go in one ear and not the other, they hear from men.
mm, mm. So I noticed that even in the beginning of every individual life, when they start to see cartoons, like especially if you're born in the 90s, uh, even Simpson as a cartoon series, like check out the dad. Like, what is the dad figure in Simpsons? He's the idiot who go out and work and come back, and who really the decision maker, the leader of the relationship is the wife, and the most intelligent one is the girl. So the both masculine figure is dumb. So you got
Yeah.
raised on that idea. So you will feel that like you are not needed, like you are dumb. You have just to work and bring money, and you have no decision. You are not really the leader. It is equal. They pretend to be equal, but they elevate the females a little bit more. So they got raised and indoctrinated and bombarded from by this ideology since very young age. So that leaves a lot of trauma on the male psyche in general. They feel that they are doing wrong by being male. That's why the trans gentleman, as somebody says. So the most of them, they become from female to from male to female. The most of the transitioning from male to female because they are not feeling good as a male in the society. Do you
Yeah,
think so?
I 100% agree. And the thing is that culture really likes masculinity. Okay? Just bear with me here. They
Hmm.
want women to be masculine. They want to say everything that's feminine from women and from culture and from society. And they want us to just be masculine. So they want women to take on the masculine role in the relationships, in the household, in the workplace. And they want to put men on what they believe is the lesser of the two genders, or the two polarities, which is feminine. And so it's very sad to see this, and we see this in like drag here in the United States. They are literally making fun of femininity. They're making fun of women. It's
Mm,
would be considered, like, I guess you would call it like blackface for women.
mm,
And that's how, as a society, we've just been accustomed to it. Like, oh yeah, that's just men dressing up in women's clothes and putting on ridiculous makeup to make them look like a woman. But
mm,
that, okay, just because you dress up as a woman doesn't make you a woman, even though that's what society wants you to believe. Like, that's not how biology works. And
mm,
as Western culture, we've completely gotten away from any sort of resemblance of biology. A man can identify as a woman can identify as a man. We can identify as a tree, a bush, whatever item you find that you want to identify as.
yeah, yeah. So what is a woman? Matt Walsh. I'm not a biologist. I can't decide what is a woman. Like I saw a short for Matt Walsh. Like he was debating or he was arguing with a random female. I'm not sure if she's a female, but she looked like a female. So he says like, what is a woman? She says you have no say as a man to define a woman and to say what is a woman. Femininity is a unique experience. He asked her back. He says, like, are you a cat? She says no. He said, can you tell me what a cat is? She just been confused. I'm sorry, that's conversation. It's not for me. I'm going. And so I I don't have to be a cockroach to tell you what cockroach is. I don't have to be a mice to tell you what a mice is. So it is simple. What woman is, I don't need to be a biologist. I know a lot of information because that's my research area. Biological
Mhm.
differences, neurological differences, a lot, psychology, behavior, and I studied that in the last 15,000 years, the dynamics in the society. That's my research area.
Mhm.
So I know a lot of information more than the average person. But you don't need to be a biologist to know that woman is the adult human female. You don't know,
Yeah.
you don't need to be a scientist. That's simple. Like if you ask my nephew, he's 6 years old, what is a woman? He'll say a big female. He will never say old. He cannot rephrase it, but he will say a big, he will say a big female. Like that's simple. Like we reached to the degree in modern day time to redefine the basic general public knowledge again. That is very basic, don't you think so?
Absolutely. I actually wanted to ask you, what does what does the Arab world think of this? Do they look at Americans and look at Western culture and ask us and
we, we
basically
laugh
like
our
shout
ass
to the
off.
sky?
We laugh our ass off every single day. Like we really laugh because we do not tolerate this bullshit. Like if anyone go on Arabic TV and he says the woman the woman is who identify herself as a woman, everybody will start laughing. You know, today actually today there is a one big library in Amman here in the capital of Jordan.
Mhm.
Somebody took a picture of a story for kids, like a story for kids with pictures, like talking about different kind of family, which is they did by mistake mention the two moms family and the two dads family. The whole organization declared that they apologize for the Jordanian nation for this mistake and they took it off the shelves.
Wow.
Yeah,
I wish that's how we operated here. I wish
yeah,
we
we
could
do.
say I wish we could say that this was a fringe minority and that this is not taking over um the media, the mass media, but it is, and people like us that are sane and have a brain to think about, well, that doesn't all equate, that doesn't all make sense. We're labeled all of the things, every phobic, everything that you can name under the sun, I've been called.
Mhm.
And the thing is that I don't care. Like, you can call me whatever you want, right? It doesn't change the fact that a man is a man, a woman is a woman.
Yeah, don't
So
worry. Like you have around 2 billion people around the globe, like they think like you. So do not feel alone.
trust me, I don't feel alone. I know very well that people are in awe, shock and awe at what's going on. And we're gonna really look back on this and think like they're gonna write the history books are going to write whatever was happening in 2020 to 2022, 2020, however long this lasts, right? They're going to say they lost their minds for a little bit. We apologize for them. Let's go back to our regularly scheduled program cuz it's absolutely insane. It's insane.
Yeah, do you see here? Like one of my channel member, Ammar say, we think that the Western are living in the dark ages again. And I can see the connection between his comment and like the current situation. You know, around 400 years ago, like the West was in real dark age, like in the there was full of ignorance. They think like when they have eclipse of the sun, that there is a ghoul eateth the sun and he will throw it back again, throw it up again. And we, like among Arab world, the Islamic Empire, the Ottoman Empire, we used to establish the new sciences as sociology, as biology, and other thing. So we added a lot. We was far away, like of the West, when they used to be in the dark age. Like I'll give you an example. The establisher of the sociology as a science, his name is Ibn Khaldun, and who invented the algorithms. His name is Al Khwarizmi, which is, they turn it to English, which is algorithms.
Yeah,
Yeah, Al
algorithm.
Khwarizmi. So we used to do that when the Western world used to think that the moon is made of cheese. So I see, do you see the connection, that like they are going back by the culture, like to back ages? Because 50 years ago in the United States, nobody will ask what woman is, and the other person say, I can't define it.
Yeah, no, you are 100% correct. These days, not even just being a woman, but you know, I my husband and I have an interracial relationship, meaning we're from different races.
Mm,
And nowadays it's like you have to stick with your own. For at what point is this like a normal thing in our culture as a Western civilization? It's always been like back in the 80s, 70s, I mean 80s for sure. No one was asking who you wanted to live your life with. And nowadays everyone's like, "Oh, well, you need to marry within your kind." Have you reverted back so far that like this progressive movement has actually brought us back to before we actually had progress in this world? Like it just makes no sense. But that is what they want. They want to destroy our culture. They want us to no longer exist. Like with all of this sterilization that is happening to young kids with this gender ideology stuff,
yeah.
we are seeing we are seeing a worldwide, like the next generation will not be able to procreate, but that's what they want. They don't want
Mm,
further generations to continue to bring life. They want to end civilization as they see fit. And so that's underlying thing here. So they confuse people and they get to the children. They want to indoctrinate the children because children are easily malleable, right? Children will learn one thing and that's what they will become. But when you're teaching them to hate their skin color, hate what body they're in, and confuse them to say 1 second you can be this, the next minute you can be that, and it's not your imagination, it's legitimate, and we're going to call you a cat and you can meow as your response in a classroom. If the rest of the world doesn't look at us and say these people are actually insane, like this is la la land and no one wants to take accountability for anything, like that's where we're at today. And I don't think it's slowing. I don't think the pendulum is moving back anytime soon.
no, no, unfortunately. And by the way, the rest of the world are laughing and saying this people is insane, actually. And I can translate that to easy point that to people to understand. Russia, in Russia, Russia is the biggest country in the world. They banned the feminist agenda on their land, and they refused to legalize that same-sex marriage bullshit. And like they refused that agenda to attack their community. And the other side, in China, they banned all feminist account in their social media platforms. And they have, by the way, they have different kind of TikTok. The TikTok is for you, for the Western Americans and for the rest of the countries. Like for with their version of TikTok, The algorithms did not reward the
Stupidity.
bullshit that, yeah, of course, yeah, yeah, it does not reward like a man wearing a skirt, like dancing like an idiot. No, they did not promote this shit. They promote a real good value stuff and videos. So they are healing their society, and they are giving you the version to keep destroying yours. So they know that this agenda is destroying the society, because they're having low birth rate also in China, because of the one child policy for 30 years. They opened it to two child, and now it is a three child policy, but they're still declining. Like the demographic growth is still declining. So they suffered, and they recognized, no, this is full of shit that will destroy our nation. So the rest of the world, like, they know that this is bullshit. Like I saw 1 year ago, they have that like a program financed by the USAID and the United Nations Women Organization in Arabic world, which is courses about gender. You know what our society did? Like they attack the ministry, like especially in Jordan, they attack the ministry. They like viciously, very viciously. Like, what are you doing to our kids? What is this bullshit? Why are you spending our money? The government start to apologize. We are not spending any single dollar of this program. It's financed by the USAID and the United Nations Women. So yeah, we recognize this is crap.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that the rest of the world understands that this is not good and that we need to end this ideology. The problem is it's getting promoted and propped up by even our president. I mean, I could be political all day long. I don't want to take it political, but it like it doesn't help that they feed into it every single step of the way. We're just ending Pride Month. Every single
Yeah,
month, every single month in the United States celebrates some sort of pride related LGBTQIA plus minus divided sign idea or what's it called? Identity, right? So why do we need to celebrate it every month? Why can't we just have like a day of it like everything else? There's Father's Day, which is one day, there's Mother's Day, which is one day, but we're going to have Pride Month for an entire month. I'm okay with that. Like everyone's okay with that. No one needs a whole month of debauchery all over the place, and now they want children to join in their debauchery and confuse kids. Like that's where I draw the heavy line. If you want to go do whatever you want to do and identify however you want to identify and live as a tree and what you can do whatever you want to do, but if you're starting to indoctrinate children at this point and you're going to bring them into your movement, I have a very hard problem. And this
mm,
is where moms are stepping up. There's a rise up of moms that are saying, absolutely not. Like, what are you, insane? Like, you're not going to teach my children about this at 5 years old, at 4 years old. They don't even know what they're looking at. They don't even know what they don't they just learned how to like have a conversation, okay? And now you're
yeah,
going to confuse them? Absolutely not. This is disgusting and a disgrace. And honestly, like I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. You can live your life as the minority, because it is the minority. These people are the fringe minority. Although if we continue to prop them up in society, they're not going to be the minority and they're going to continue to indoctrinate people. And by the way, there has been an increase in gender transition and all of this other stuff because kids are confused. They learn about
yeah.
this.
Gender dysphoria is rocketing up to the sky in the United States.
And before that, we had no conversation around this. Absolutely
Mm,
no. yes, there was a couple people here and there, and it was in, you know, the medical documentations, like, yes, this is a real mental disorder, and we should really look into supporting people with this disorder. But the now we just highlight every mental illness in the United
Mm.
States. TikTok specifically is mental illness town. If you have a mental illness, that's the place that you have to go. That's the place where you're going to shine and you're going to rise to the top of the victim hierarchy so that people will then praise you for being whatever victim you are, whether it's being a woman, whether it's being Black, whether it's being a trans, non binary, mask, femme, whatever you want to call yourself, tree, right? They're going to, that's, that's what they're doing. And it's absurd, and we should end this now. Like, that's where I feel it. That's where I stand on it. And feminism is a very big aspect of that.
Yeah,
I'm done.
yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. A lot of people are happy like hearing you for the first time here in the chat. Shout out to Abu American is in the chat. He's a big content creator in the manosphere. Like he's a respected figure, one of our friend.
Someone says, I identify as a TV stand.
I saw a woman. I saw a woman. Really, I saw a report about a female. She identified as a table lamp, and they took a video of her like standing and putting this on her head like for hours. I identify as table lamp. I do not give a fuck about you what you identify as. Like you are a human female. You can imagine like my nephew imagine that he's a Spider-Man like throwing the nets. He can imagine that, but he's still a boy. So your delusion is in your mind. You cannot force me to accept it. So that's easy.
Correct. 100% correct. I thought when I was a child that I was like Superwoman, that I could just wish one day that I could, if I wished hard enough, that I would fly. That never happened for me. Like, shocking. I don't fly. Okay. So if my parents told me, if my parents lived in today's, I mean, if they were indoctrinated the same way as parents are today, they said, Rebecca is Superwoman, Wonder Woman.
Mhm.
If imagine if they just threw me off of a building or threw me off of a bridge. That's where we're at today. Where like people are getting sent to school, kids are getting sent to school in cat outfits, and they require kitty litter in the bathrooms because they truly believe, and their parents have verified this, that they are
Mm,
cats.
mm,
Oh, I'm sorry. If that is not a mental disorder on the parents,
mm.
because I don't blame children for having an imagination, right?
Yeah.
Children have imaginations. One day you think you're Superman, the next day you think you're a lion, the next, that's okay. You're a kid. But the parents have Munchausen's by proxy disorder. And now instead of saying, oh, we're going to like inject this, blah, 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 they're literally, they love the identity disorder. They want their child to be trans and be non-binary, and it helps their identity because it provides them with social acceptance to the world. That's what it
Mm,
does. And so the woke left can then say, hey, like, you are accepted in our group and you're not any of the ists and whatever other slang, like slanderous words they want to throw at you, right? You're not that. That's those are the QAnon whatever people. That's no, we're just normal people who think maybe we shouldn't indoctrinate children. Maybe if a kid wants to say that he's a lion one day, cool, just say that's a great imagination, like go play outside. Why is that not the answer anymore?
Ali here is saying, no, coach, feminism is saying you should accept her as a table lamb. So what should I do? Like, plug her ass with the electric wire? Like, what the fuck? No, she's a woman. Nobody can change that. Okay. So the next point is, because we're going to talk about Roe v. Wade, which is the Supreme Court decision, last decision. But before that, the female happiness I got in my study. By the way, guys, the priority is for super chats for the questions. So getting back to this, I got in my website, which is redpillarabic.com, the stores study. I got a whole page. It is like stores study, actually. It's like getting into a store. So the first one is the gender gap among adolescents in mental health and satisfaction. And that report, let me show it here to you. Okay, that report, here's the study. That report is the gender gap in adolescents' mental health across national investigation of 566,829 adolescents across 73 country. So it is like respectedly reliable study. And okay, I got the demograph here. Let me show it to you. Okay, window. Okay, here is it. The life satisfaction among countries. Do you see? Here is
Yes.
here it is for the female side. The female have a worse mental health, which is the life satisfaction, and it goes down until like the females have it better than males in this country on the left side. So let's check what countries have the worst mental health for females. Okay. Okay. Look at here. The biggest, like 5 to 10 countries. It is Slovenia, Korea, Poland, Sweden, the most egalitarian countries, which is Sweden, Poland, and Norway, the United Kingdom, Iceland, Finland, Croatia, Hungary, Germany, Slovak Republic, Italy, Austria, Uruguay, Czech Republic, Brazil, Switzerland, Netherlands, Malta, Estonia, Luxembourg, Costa Rica, Chile, Ireland, United States. Here is United States. So if we look at like the worst 20 countries about the life satisfaction for female, so all of them are Western countries. Do you want to see where's the Arabic country and the Eastern country? It is here. Look, Jordan. The female have a better life satisfaction than male. It is my country. The Philippines, it's Eastern country. Moldova, Eastern European country. Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Japan, Ukraine, Malaysia, Vietnam. It's all Eastern country. So, like looking at this, and one of the conclusions of the study, I said like I got it all, and I wrote an article about this. That is 2021, so it is recent data. It is not old. 2021, and including 73 country, over than half million individual. So they found a connection between how gender equal the country policy is, and the decline of female mental health. Can you believe that? The worst is the most egalitarian country, which is the Scandinavian countries, such as Sweden, Norway, Belgium, Finland, those countries, Canada. The females, like the women's in general, females, young and old, they have the worst mental health ever. And they are in the most equal gender equality country ever. What is your take on that?
Well, the issue is that there's no such thing as equality. And that's where a lot of these people in these countries have it completely wrong. Once we went away from actual gender dynamics and having roles, gender roles in the households and in the families, you are going to end up like this, right? Women here in the United States, and I'm going to speak to the States because I know
Mm,
the culture way better. In the States here, women go to the workplace. We're told from a very young age, you grow up, go to school, go to college, work, build your career, go to the career top. At
mm,
no point do they talk about relationships. At no point are they saying, hey, maybe, you can get your education, maybe you can learn all these things and also prioritize marriage
mm,
and family. Like, what a shocking idea, right? But that's because of the destruction of the nuclear family. They don't want people to have families. They don't want the family unit because what happens is that all of the decisions are made are made by the state. So
mm,
you see women that have children out of wedlock, right, and that are single mothers. They rely on the state to fund their lives, to fund their children's basically growing up, right? The fatherless homes, they get sent to prison. It's all like the whole system is built so that families are not a thing anymore. That we're completely destroyed the nuclear family. And so when you have women that say, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna be a career woman, she was never she was never designed to build, she was never designed to carry that burden. Women can work, right?
mm,
Women can work. I'm not saying that they can't. I work, I have a YouTube channel, right? But I don't
mm,
make it a priority. I'm not saying that I'm not a career focused woman anymore. I don't
mm,
say that my career comes first and then my family comes second. That is the problem with a lot of these countries where either the woman is saying, I'm going to prioritize the career
mhm.
and then we'll figure out family later. And then they get to the point where, they've built their careers and then it slaps them in the face saying like, well, what did you think? Like you're going to find your husband and have a family and live happily ever after? That's not how this works. And
Yeah.
that's what I tell women all the time. I said, look, I did this. Like I learn from my mistakes, learn from me. I am
Mm,
literally the quintessential woman that went down this path that spent almost a decade building her career, like building companies and trying to be the boss babe and the CEO. And where did it get me? Like, cool, I was in a publication. Cool, I had funding, but I came home to no one,
mm.
right? And you're talking about loneliness and mental health. There has
Yeah.
been an increase of uh, medications prescribed to women,
One
and
in four.
1 in 4, and alcoholism. Women
Mm.
are on par to be on par. If you want to talk about equality, they're equal to men in their drinking habits at this point. So that's where the equality is. Like if you want to talk about equality, they're right. You're right there. You're right there
Mm,
as far as drinking, because that's the outlet, right? That's, well, what are you going to do if you have no one to come home to? You have cats and
yeah.
maybe a dog. And that's what they're saying too. They're saying, oh, well, replace your baby with the dog. Replace the baby with the dog.
That's what they're doing basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I heard, like, sorry to interrupt you. I heard a psychologist says that lonely female usually choose small dogs instead of to feel like they're having kids, and big dogs instead of men. They need this masculine energy, like the rough dog, the like a German Shepherd or a pit bull, or so the big dog who turn down the place. This is this is the masculine energy instead of a man, and the small one, which is you find that they treat them like a babies, buying suits and buying like things and accessory and talking to him and blah blah blah. We do not do that here. Like I was talking to to John, John MLD, John from Modern Life Dating, my friend.
Mhm.
So I told him, like, if I check around 100 family that I know here in Jordan, you will never find a single pet. But if you check around 10 homes, you will find 5 pets in the United States. Why? We are interested in, but you will never find a home without 3, 4 kids. So that's more healthy than 3 or 4 cats.
Yeah, and then they'll also say that, "Oh, children cost so much money and blah 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 blah, and I can't afford to have kids, hence why we have the Roe v. Wade situation here in
Hmm.
the States, right? Well, I can't afford children, so let's just get rid of it." Of course, like that's the only option that is suitable for these people, is saying, "Well, if I can't afford them, I'll just get rid of them."
Hmm.
Well, what about adoption? There's I believe 6 million couples that are looking for children to adopt. What
Yeah.
happened to that? You already got pregnant. Like you already like reproduction already happened.
Hmm.
So why are you why is that the only option? But we'll get into that in a little bit. But that's what it is, they're saying that dogs and cats are essentially replacing children, and that it's seemingly healthier for women to have dogs and cats instead of human babies that are created in the womb.
Uh,
Again, these things we laugh about, right? These
hmm.
things we're joking about and like taking a little bit lighthearted. But if you look at the if I say that to a woman right now, like if there was a feminist woman here, or not even someone who identifies as a feminist, they will literally go crazy. Like they will lose their actual minds because they can't handle accountability. They can't handle truth. They really can't. And it's
Hmm.
sad. It's really
Yeah.
sad to see the state of just of women, of people, because we've completely have lost our way.
Yeah. Yeah. Regarding Roe versus Wade, which is I just remember that like 400-pound woman carrying front of the Supreme Court carrying a sign saying that she will quit sex until you reverse the decision. I said, well, that's great for me as a man. Like, thank you. Like, I'm not interested in land whales. So so
Yeah,
so
I
Yeah, crazy
agree.
people was front of the Supreme Court, especially like that old fat black woman was like stimulating the abortion, taking the kids out and like,
Oh,
I want to
yes.
kill this son of a bitch. I want to kill, like. I look at her like if somebody did that in the Muslim world here, we will look at her as a murderer. Like, you want to kill the kid. Why you want to kill the kid? And by the way, like 95% of the biologists believe that life start at conception. 95% of the biologists. We as a Muslim, and we will come to that, or let me mention it right here. We believe that we have two school of thoughts, which is 3 months or 40 days, and but the 40 days have better evidences, which is you can't abort the baby after 40 days, which is basically 6 weeks, almost 6 weeks. Because from scientific point of view, after 6 to 8 week, like the nerve system and the brain functionality is working. You have a heartbeat, and the baby have consciousness, and he can feel if you touch him. For I heard that from a surgeon. He says, and his surgeon profession, like his specific profession, is on embryos. So he says the first time that I did an operation, when I first touched the baby, he just got back, and that's shocked me, like as a surgeon. So he feels. So I used to he started to use anesthesia on the babies on the womb, even if they are like young for 2 months or something. He used anesthesia because he feel pain. So if he feel pain, he have a nerve system, his brain functionality is working, he have consciousness, and he have a heartbeat. So is it alive or not? Big question.
The the left and the woke extreme people would say that no, that's not a life. And I'm sitting here like I just had a baby. My baby's 4 months old. If she had
Mm,
if she I love this argument. It's not a baby until it comes out of like of your, down there,
yeah.
right? Well, what if you have a C-section? Is that not a is that not a baby that comes out of there? If you have a
Mhm.
C-section, it didn't come through the birth canal.
Yeah.
So is that not a human? That's the question at large here, is that Americans have a very hard time grasping the fact that actually they know what it is. Because if
Mm,
you look at a woman, you say, "Oh, that's a baby bump." So you're agreeing that that is a baby in there,
mm,
right? Like you people know what it is. It's just they need something to justify their decision because it hurts too much
mm,
to know that they are doing that to their own child. Their own child. Like we have convinced women, and this like bothers me so much. We have convinced women to legitimately kill their own child. What planet do we live on? Like what where are we at here that you they've legitimately, now women are protesting that they want to do that they want to end their pregnancies. They want to end the life of their child, their potential child, the potential human.
mm.
It's pure insanity. It's pure insanity. Okay, if it's not a human, what is it? Giraffe? Is it a cow? Is it a
Chemicals
skunk?
come.
What? Yeah, exactly. And a parasite is what they like to use, right?
Yeah.
The womb of the woman, the only function of the uterus is to either A, prepare the uterus for the egg,
Mm,
right? To prepare for a baby to grow in
yeah.
there,
The ovulation.
right?
Yeah.
For ovulation. And if it doesn't happen, then it recycles and it strips the lining of it, and then you shed that, and that's what every month you come, like you have your monthly cycle, right?
Have you
So
ever seen that?
oh yeah, yeah.
100.
I don't think that she I really don't think that she has a functioning, I don't know if
Mm,
this is real or not, because once, especially if you have done many of them, you can't have that many children unless this person is very fertile. I'm not sure if this is legitimate or not, because I'm telling you that, so the DNC scrape, which is essentially like what they use to evacuate the
yeah.
uterus, right? They scrape it. And so every time they scrape the lining of your uterus, they're you're creating scabs. You're
Mm,
creating basically like a way for nothing to attach to it.
mm,
And so the fertilized egg has to attach. It's called implantation. And
yeah.
so if you have nowhere to implant, then you can't have a viable pregnancy. Maybe she's had a lot of ectopic pregnancy, which it gets stuck in the tubes, and
Mm,
that could be what's happening is that it can't travel down to the uterus because it gets stuck in the tubes, and which is completely, it happens. But the celebration of a of
Yeah, that's the point.
that's the problem here.
Mm.
That's the main issue here. The fact that we can't in good faith say, all right, that is a child. You're right. That's a baby. And I am making the conscious decision to end that child's life due to my personal circumstances. They will never say that. They will never say
Mm.
that,
Mm.
because what it does is that it makes it real. It legitimizes the act. And they don't want that, because if women knew, they wouldn't sign up for it.
Yeah,
60 million preborn babies gone, never have seen the light of day. That is genocide. Like, if you look at any country, that isn't that the definition of a genocide over a long period of time? Like, I don't it doesn't register in my head how this is okay. And it breaks my heart, because when I saw my daughter's heartbeat at 6 weeks, mind you, actually, it
mm,
was 5.5 weeks,
mm,
I was so moved. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's what it like, that's her?" Like, that, and I didn't even know it was her, but, like, I didn't even know if it was a her, but I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's the baby?" And they're like, "Yeah, that little speck right there,
mm,
that's your child."
mm,
And so, for and if a woman sees that, how can you not? How can you not think that that is a baby? How can you not think that that is your child? Like, it makes me emotional thinking about it, because it's like, you and that's why they purposely don't give women ultrasounds,
mm,
because they don't want to legitimize and humanize the experience. They want to create a dehumanizing experience for women. And then
mm,
then not only is the child discarded, the woman is discarded.
mm.
She is. They said, go off, go take the pill, go, go
So
sit
you
in the
agree with
bathroom.
me? You agree with me that women who do abortion or several abortions, she dehumanize herself to certain degree, right?
Yes, correct. She at some point, at some point in time, there's no more soul. There's no more, like, there's no person in there. How can you how can you go through that experience? Many women that have reported that they have gone through it will literally um expel the entire child, and they can hold them,
Mm,
right? And it's like, if that does not change you for the rest of your life, I don't know what does. Like, you really are a shell of a human if you can't understand that that is a life. And so, it bothers me a lot. It bothers me that mothers support it. That's beyond me. I know so many mothers that are like that I would consider friends, that are like, "Yeah, every woman has a right to choose." Well, I'm so sorry. Didn't you go through this experience like 5 minutes ago? You didn't see
mm,
the ultrasound at 6 weeks, at 12 weeks, at 24 weeks. You didn't see your ultrasounds? You didn't say that it was a baby? So the only thing that legitimizes that it's a baby is that if you want the child.
mm,
That's the only difference. That's the only difference, to what I can come up with. Women who want their babies, that she's a mother. That is a baby. That's a baby bump. That's all of that stuff. If it's not, oh, it's a clump of cells. It's a clump of cells. That's all. That's all it is.
mm, mm.
Absurd. Completely absurd.
So that's so sad. Do you know that in the last 20 years, around 1.5 billion baby is killed in global wise? 1.5 billion. I mean, like the whole wars in the 20th century combined did not kill one tenth of this number, or tenth of this number. 1.5 billion. That's a huge number. That's a huge number. I don't know. Like, by the way, it's banned in all Arabic Muslim country. Like, if you abort your child, you'll go to jail. No joking. No, you will be in Islam. In Islam, there is no real, like, an real Islamic ruling. But in Islam, by the book, by the script, you will be considered a murderer, and you will be charged with murder, even if you do it as a mother. If somebody did it to you, like, for example, if you're a pregnant woman, somebody kick you in your belly and you lost the child, he will be charged with murder. Yeah. That's the Islamic viewpoint. Okay, Jawad here got a super chat, $5. Thank you, Jawad. I'm thinking about marrying outside of the U.S., and some of my friends are going to the same. Lots of women here are not marriage material. Thoughts? What do you think, Rebecca?
I mean, I understand the sentiment. I understand where these men are coming from. I think that if you if you are trying to get married to a woman in a large city, in a very big city like New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Miami, not great places to look for women. Okay. But if you're looking in like the middle of the country, if you live in more of like smaller town, or maybe they're called like tier two cities, there's a lot of conservative, traditional minded women that are in those places. The thing that I think I also wanted to mention here is that traditional voices and conservative voices are not the loudest voices. They're not
Yeah,
the ones that you see plastered all over the internet. So that's
agreed.
why, like, my friend Ali, the real femme sapien, when she went viral, when I went viral, these are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this woman would actually speak against whatever it is, right? And
Mm,
that's because that's not the norm.
mm,
So they're promoting this minority voice in the loudest voice possible. But there are women that I've spoken to, at this point, hundreds of women that
mm,
reach out to me in my direct messages on my YouTube channel that are very much minded like me, that are very much in the same thing. They're saying like, "Wow, Rebecca, thank you for finally speaking up. Thank you for actually like putting words to what we go through and what we see every single day." Right? And so yes, like, you're gonna here's the thing. Every part of the world, maybe not Arabic countries, or maybe not most, like, you're not gonna find you're not gonna find uh you're not going to find
marriage
feminism.
material.
Well, yeah, but you're not gonna find feminism. Like, even in South America, I have
Mm,
friends, I have family that live in Brazil. It's in the big cities there. It's in the big cities. My friend just reached out to me. He just came back from Panama. He's like, it's in the big cities of Panama. It's in the big city. All the big cities, don't go there. Don't go there for women. Don't go there for marriage. Don't try those women. Go to parts of that country, or of the America, to find those types of women that are marriage material, and I guarantee you that they're there. There's so many women that reach to me.
yeah. I totally agree. I do always tell the guys, avoid the big cities. Avoid the big cities. You will never, like, it is so difficult to find marriage material female in the big cities, because big cities are corrupted. Like, most of it are full of liberals and rich people, and rich people usually are liberals. Like, mm, like, take my country here, like Jordan. Or, by the way, Rebecca lived also in the UAE, in
Mhm.
Emirat. Like, Do you think you will believe you will find a marriage material female in Dubai or in like another in Ras Al Khaimah, for example? Of course, Ras Al Khaimah. You will never find a marriage material like good, humble, feminine woman inside Dubai. It is very difficult. So to make it easy for you, avoid big cities in general. Like if you have a good connection, if you live in the United States and you have a good connection with the eastern side of the world, which is east of Europe, have beautiful, feminine, well-rounded, females, women in general, and they have a beautiful woman in east of Europe. I speak Russian, by the way, Rebecca,
Oh
so I
wow.
know.
There you go.
Yeah, so I know. So yeah, that if you're going outside of the United States, Eastern Europe, Middle East, Russia, like this side of the world, not the Western side, because man is still the head of the household, and female still feminine in that side of the world. Uh, the probability, let me be more specific, the probability to find a feminine female in those countries is higher than the West Europe and United States, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Yeah.
I agree.
Hmm. Okay. The last point. Okay. Regarding the abortion and the Supreme Court, do you have anything to add before we jump to the last point?
I just want to say I'm very happy with the decision. I'm happy that it's going back to the states where it belongs. We can actually have a democratic process when it comes to deciding these very important issues in our states. And I think the states are going to do a great job at legislating this. And that's the whole point of our democratic process here in the United States. Like, we actually have more freedom now to pick and choose what state you want to live in. So I'm very happy I live in a red state. I'm just going to say that. And-
Where do you live? In Texas?
no, I live in Florida.
Florida? That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I'm very happy. It helped
I
during
love
the
the
panorama.
Florida governor.
Yeah, Ron DeSantis. I would love
He's
for him
he's a
to be
masculine he's a masculine man. Like I recognize one when I see one. Yeah.
yeah, I would love for him to be president. That's my hope and desire, but I also
Oh,
want him as
Democrats will lose their mind.
well, I also still want him as my governor. So I don't know how I feel about letting him go.
Okay, that's a good question, Miles. I'm interested in seeing how things change 5 to 10 years from now. Like decline will be harder in Western countries. Like we will feel the decline even in the east part of the world, but it's gonna be more detrimental in the west side. uh, the United States is under replacement rate since 50 years, by the way, since 50 years, since the 80s. They are under 2.1 children per woman. So they will face in the next 10 years a demographical collapse if they did not figure out how to shut this feminist bullshit up. They shut it down, and to increase and to implement the family orientation value back in females as the humanity among 1 million year used to be. So if they did not find out a way how to do that, they will keep declining. Demographical collapse. After the demographic collapse, it will follow by a hard economic collapse, because old people do not generate shit. Like you need young people to generate to drive the wheel of the economy. They are facing that already in North Korea and in North Co- in South Korea. Sorry, in South Korea, the replacement rate is 0.9 right now, and 50% of the population is over 65. more than half of the population is over 65. So they will start like collapse, collapse, collapse until they disappear. The Western countries such as Canada and the United States, they are bringing people from another country to fight out this collapse, but it's not working out. Guys, you can read the Death of the West by Patrick J. Buchanan. He's a previous consultant for four American president. He wrote it a well book, like a really good read. It's called The Death of the West, measuring all the factors of the civilization collapsing and imply it on the United States right now. Like he did a check boxes, like homosexuality, check, sexual revolution, check, decline family in marriage, check, increase in divorce rate, check, low birth rate, check. So he gathered all the measurement of the declining of the West. The book names is the death of the West. Yeah, the like. Do you have anything to add for that regarding the next 5 to 10 years, Rebecca?
No, you pretty much nailed it on the head. I think that if the pendulum does, here's the thing, I have hope for the future because I see a lot of traditional conservative voices speaking out and speaking up against this craziness. So, my hope and prayer is that we will see things turn around and the pendulum starts swinging back the other way. Um, but it's going to be a hard fight, and I like what I want. I just want my daughter to grow up and live a good life. And, you know, if I can do the if I can do my job now, if I can do my duty here with her and my family, like we're going to keep creating better families. And so I think having more kids is really helpful.
Yeah,
and and then also bringing the education back into the home. That's something that I talk a lot about is homeschooling children. I'm going to homeschool all my kids. And I know a lot of families that are now doing homeschooling or co-op schooling, which they bring other families together because the schools are where these kids are getting indoctrinated, and we need to turn that around. So,
yeah, of course. Uh, Jawad, why do women here in the US take gay men as their friend? Because they're not dangerous. Like they have
yeah,
no intention to fuck them. That's why they can be useful, like without risk. Because have a
correct.
male friend, a masculine male friend, he will think about like do the double monkey backflip. So gay friend, like it is more safe choice. I believe that that's the main reason. No, like no rustling in the night, and he will provide like some help when you need him, some advice when you need him. Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, the last point. Islam and women. Do you know? You've been in the Islamic world, like I believe you have observed like some uh, Arabic families or Muslim families. How is the dynamic in general? Do you think women in the Islamic world have a better, let's say, life and satisfaction than the Eastern world?
I 100% agree because here's the thing is that I actually know a lot of Arabic women. No, I just know a lot of like well, I don't know if you know the content creator why am I blanking on her name right now? She's on the Lapif network. Amira. Amira talks about this. Do you know who she is? The lioness.
No.
Anyway, she's great. You should really look into speaking with her, and maybe I'll connect you. But I believe that if we root ourselves in that traditional foundation, everything will be better. Like, the man is the house leader of the house, and the woman submits to his leadership, and the children submit to the woman's leadership within the home. That's how the hierarchy works, right? And we all
Yeah.
submit to God,
Yeah.
whatever form of God you pray to, right? But we all submit to God. And so, yes, I do think that they are happier. I actually have heard them say it themselves, like, we think that American women are crazy. Like, I don't we we don't have the same issues, right? Like, they don't have the same issues as us. We're constantly fighting with men, and they're working with men. And
Mm.
that is the thing, is like, if we can get back to a place where women are working with our men, we're going to have better lives. It's very difficult when you have combative women
Mm.
going, literally driving their driving their men crazy,
Yeah.
and like, I have to catch myself all the time, because
Yeah.
that feminist mindset comes creeping back in. And
Yeah.
luckily I have the tools to like combat that myself in my own head before sharing those thoughts and opinions with my husband. But it does, like, we're constantly battling that. And I think that, um you know, if we go back to tradition, if we go back to that, I think all women would be much happier. That's my opinion. I don't think it's going to happen here in the West for the majority of women. I think they're going to live in their dysfunction. But yeah, I really truly think that women are just better and
Yeah.
happier when they live in their feminine, when they're just operating in their feminine.
Mm.
So,
Uh, what is your age, Rebecca? I forgot to.
I'm
If you don't
33.
mind,
No, I'm 33. I'm very
33.
open.
You're
Millennial.
you're millennial. Yeah, I'm a millennial too. But you're in the age of my sister. She have two kids, and when I compare her life of other female members of the family from the same age range who never got married, she's way
Mhm.
more happier. And science actually proved that, like the largest indicator of the female happiness is a family and marriage.
Correct.
And women live more than men, by the way. Like they a lot of girls, like in their 20s or late 20s or early 80s, they think they will be okay because they are okay right now. They have a lot of
Mhm.
single friends, hang out with them every day, and they think that's gonna be like for the next 50 years. No, when you reach 50, from 50 to 85, that's 35 year. What you gonna do in this 35 year? And you can't have kid, like from 50 to let's say 83, and most of your friends will be married or in long-term relationship, have children. And so what you gonna do when they come for you?
And yeah, and honestly, like, looking when I see my daughter, like, when I pick her up out of her crib and I look at her little face and she smiles up at me, no one could ever tell me that that is not the best feeling in the world. Like, are you like, there's no better feeling in the world than to know that someone else loves you unconditionally like that. Like, and family is like that, right? Like, yeah, you can argue with your family left and right. Like, I have disagreements with my family, but I love them, and that's never going to change. And
Mm,
I think that if we start reuniting the family, we start bringing it back to the family, so many people are going to be happy. We live in an individualistic world where everyone's out for themselves. It's a problem for men and women here in Western culture, right? Everyone's out for their own. Like, no one's thinking about the future. No one's thinking about the negative impacts of not getting married or not having children. Even for men, like I hear it all the time, like, oh, I'm never gonna get married. Like these women are crazy, blah, blah, blah. Where's your legacy going? Like you work so hard. You're working so hard for what? To not leave it to anyone? To just die and that's it? That was your life? Like family, children are a legacy. And
Yeah,
so if we truly say ask ourselves like, yeah, I'm working my butt off now, but what is this all result to? Like what is the big picture here? You really need to ask yourself that, because for me for a long time it was like, oh, I want to be the top CEO. Oh, I want to raise like millions and billions of dollars in fundraising. I want to be on the publication of this, that, and the third. And I got there. Like I got a lot of money in fundraising. I got a lot of money, or I got recognition in all the publications. What did it get me?
yeah. What is next?
What's next, right? And so when you hit as a woman, like once you hit those points in your life, you have like like I say, you have a come to Jesus moment, and you say, wow, like I've done all this stuff, and what is my life come to, and now where am I? And then there's no prospect of a man, there's no prospect of a family. You're in your mid 30s, your fertility has decreased by over 75, like 73%, right? Your the likelihood of your child not coming out, or you know or actually having a legitimate, like being able to produce,
Yeah, risky
decrease.
pregnancies.
The risks are crazy. I know
Mm.
women that have had babies in their 40s that have had genetic issues.
Yeah,
Why do that? Or then pay
Down
thousands of
syndrome,
dollars.
autisms.
Yes, and then pay thousands and thousands of dollars for IVF. And if it doesn't work, what happens? And so you're seeing this woman who becomes a shell of herself. And for right now, everything seems okay. Like you said, everything seems perfectly fine. I actually had this conversation with a woman who was my friend,
Mm.
and she was like, I feel bad for you because you let your man control your life. I go, sis, this is coming from, like, I'm trying to be respectful, but this is coming from you. I'm married with a child. You are not married. You're alone and childless. And you're telling me what my life should be like? She's like, don't get upset when your husband cheats on you and leaves you. I go, I'll worry about that if that ever happens, but thanks for your concern. You don't care about me. You don't care about how I end up.
You have
You just
envy.
Exactly. You just want to push out all of the bitterness,
Mm.
all of the stuff that you've been building up inside of you, and you're upset when other women are happy. That's not my problem. That's not my burden to bear. That's
Mm.
your stuff that you need to deal with, and I hope that she deals with it, and I hope that many women deal with the consequences of their actions, because there will come a time when the Pied Piper comes, and will, like, that's gonna happen. And if you know if you get to a certain point, you can't blame anyone else for your decisions. No
Where
one
all the
forced you.
old men? Where are all the good men gone? They're interested in younger women. That's where they gone. Yeah.
They're interested in non-combative women that actually, like, care about them and care about their needs and desires. And I tell women all the time, it's very simple. Just listen to what men say they want, and literally be that. It's not that complicated.
Yeah,
But
because
no,
we're simple creatures, by the way. We are very
I
simple.
know.
For me, myself, I'm very, very, very direct. And I'm not polite. I'm a rude person. My followers know me. I say what I believe is true, very direct. no matter what you think about it, like the other person think, if he gonna cry, literally, one of my clients, she was a female. She was a single female over 30, living in Europe. Okay, but she's from Arabic origin. So she got into consultation with me around like few years ago, and I totally, the people who book me for counseling, they know that, they know what's like, they're gonna be roasted, they know that. So I literally roast her up. She said, I don't want to get married because I have time. I said, no, you don't have this, you don't have time. You lost 90% of your eggs. We men are interested in younger women, so you do not have time. Know your sexual market value. The wall is real, and you're gonna buy a dog and die alone if you did not change right now. She, she started crying in that session. She started crying in that session. But you know what? Where she is now, she's married with 2 kids, and she
Good.
sent me thank you every 2 week. Thank you for roasting me up. Thank you, because there's no one in her life tell her what I told her. Just
Hmm.
wake the fuck up. You're losing time. No, you don't have time. You're not gonna get married at 40 and have 5 kids and live in peace alone. No, that's never gonna happen. No,
Hmm.
just wake up. So she thanked me like now and then. She had 2 kids right now, and she's married and she's happy. So
That's
so somebody
amazing.
have to wake them up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. And I hope that more women wake up, especially with the reversal or the overturn of Roe v. Wade. I made a bunch of Instagram posts like, "Hi guys, this is how you track your ovulation. This is how you like figure this out. If it is your body, your choice, you may need to make better choices." And women went crazy. They're like, "What about this? What about that?" I'm like, again, you control access to sex. If you don't want to get pregnant, you don't open your legs. It's not that complicated.
Yeah.
But I guess we forgot biology. So, what is a woman? We don't have no idea. So, how can you tell anyone anything anymore? But I mean, that's where we're at in the society, and they can get mad at me all they want. I am I'm very much like you, but I have a softer feel when
Of course, of course,
people.
of course. You're a female and you're a mom. Like that's expected. That's healthy
Yeah.
in your case. Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, this discussion is very much needed. I hope that more people listen to this message, listen to us have this conversation, because if people understand, like if Americans understand what other countries and nations are thinking about them, maybe they would probably change their course and direction. But actually, I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
Ali was asking me about that. By the way, she told me like, I want to have you on the show talking about the Islamic marriage institution. We might like learn something from these 2 billion people around the world. We might learn something good because they have the strongest family, the lowest divorce rate, highest birth rate in the planet, like
Yeah,
the Muslims. So we
yeah,
might learn something from these guys. Like they're doing something good. They're doing
yeah.
something in a better way than us. So yeah,
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, y'all should like get some sort of like resurgence over here. Be like, hey guys, let's talk about traditional like. It, it's like it's really not that difficult to understand that the family is the key here. Bring back the families, and I'm telling you, our culture, Western culture, will revive itself. But if you continue to destroy the family unit, we're done. We're done. We're done. We're
yeah.
100% done.
As Andrew Tate says, man, woman, and children make family. Bunch
Mhm.
of families make village. Bunch of villages make town. Bunch of towns make city. Bunch of cities make country. So if you crack the family, you will crack the whole country all the way up.
Yep.
You can't
That's
do
where we're
that.
at.
Yeah.
But I see it the turnaround. So let's end it on a high note.
I hope so. I hope so. It is 1 hour 30 minutes. I guess like you're running out of time, right?
Yes, my I'm like I'm don't know where
You
my
missed your baby,
baby's.
huh?
Yeah, I'm like looking for her.
Okay. Thank you, Shane, saying thank you for Karim and Rebecca. You're most welcome, guys. We can have more discussions in the future. She's a new mom, guys. Like, don't push her like a lot. So she need the time for her baby. Wish you a better luck of being a mom first, then for your content as a YouTuber and content creator. You enlightened us today in my channel, Rebecca. Thank you for accepting the offer and talking to me on my channel. Any last words, like last thoughts about the podcast?
No, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. This was probably one of the best discussions I've had where we can talk about a lot of different things. People like to just talk about relationships, but if you don't talk about the greater picture, if you don't talk about everything that's going on, you can't
Mm,
really talk about relationships because it all comes down to the family and it all has little ties everywhere. So I'm really glad that we went down this path. I
mm.
think it was a very productive conversation, and I think that you highlighted a lot of really good points. And I'm just so grateful that you would host me on your platform. And hopefully, I don't do a lot of lives, but if you ever want to come on my platform, I'm more than welcome to have
Yeah,
you.
I'll do it. Like,
Yeah,
just choose your subject. Tell me when,
I
and
know.
you can
The
arrange for it. Yeah.
the problem is I don't do lives like you do, so
Oh, really? It's
it's
easy.
very far in
Easy.
between.
It's easy. Like, you don't need to edit, because I used to do in the beginning, like around 1.5 year ago, 1 year ago. I used to do like all only edited videos, which is
Yeah.
5 to 10 to 15 minutes. But like, it used to take me, because I used to produce them in on 4K,
Mm,
4K 60 frame. So I used to do that. It used to take me like around 4 days or 5 days to film, re-edit, like doing a lot of things, adding the elements to the video, and it is 10 minute video. Nowadays, I do the research for my podcast.
correct.
Like, my I have two weekly show, and
Mm,
in my channel in Arabic, and I'm starting one in English. It's called the Breakdown series. So you do the research. You wrote down you write down the bullet points, the main points. You gather the data, and you can just start it and start talking to people and react with people. Actually, it's much easy.
I know. I'm gonna try. I promise. I used to do lives. It's funny because people think that I am very confident and whatnot, and I am to a certain degree, but
Mm.
but but it makes me nervous hosting my own show. Like, I'll gladly accept everyone else's show and go speak, but hosting my own, I would rather
Yeah.
talk to the camera by itself and say, "Hey guys." I also have an editor, so that helps me a lot. I send him all of my stuff and I say, "Hey, can you edit this for me?" You should hire an editor. Editors make great they're super awesome to have on hand and to clip things like this, which is very long stream or long
Mm.
form content. Oh my gosh, that has been the best thing that ever happened when I outsourced all that stuff. I said, "Here, take all my stuff. I filmed it. I did everything, and now here you go to edit my
Mm.
videos." It's
Mm.
great. But this has been so good. I'm so grateful for you hosting me. And again, I hope that this gets, you know, pushed out, brought up and many times because I think people need to hear it.
Inshallah, by God's will. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, guys, for tuning in. That was a great podcast. Like, I hope we can arrange for another one in the near future. Thank you,
Absolutely.
guys. Have a good
Bye.
night.